All right, so welcome back to a new module. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about Messenger bot entry points. A lot of people think, well, what exactly does that mean? And hopefully we can shed some light on this topic. But entry points are basically what can bring somebody into your bot. What would you do to get someone to engage with your Messenger bot? So the first one I want to talk about is messenger engagement. So obviously, if somebody messages your fan page, if they go to your fan page and click message us, or if they go to Messenger and send you a message, this will engage whatever bot that you have set up for this action. And this will be them entering your bot atmosphere. You have the ability to change the messages and change automatic responses that people get, as well as start a process to market to them. So once they've messaged your page, you could create a bot that says 24 hours after somebody messages my page, send them this marketing material. And we'll talk about the rules for how you can do those things in a later module, but just know that this is the number one way, the first way that you can get people to get engaged with your bot. Now, the second way is a messenger URL. Most of you don't know this, but you already have one of these. And this is a URL that it already exists. And it's very simple. It's just the letter M, .me / whatever your page name is. So an example of it would be, and I'll show you guys here, m.me / Travis Income is my fan page. If you clicked on that link, it would take you directly into Messenger and you would be engaged in a conversation with me, and you might see my welcome message popping up on your screen that says, hey, how can I help you? So this is a very easy way to get somebody to go to have a chat with you. One of the great examples of using this might be something along the lines of, well, go visit my website here. Or if you're a real estate agent or you're doing something, insurance salesman, instead of sending somebody to your website where they're kind of left on their own, give them this URL and say, here's where you can always reach me. That's going to be the future of what we do for communication. So it's a great thing to start thinking about now. The next entry point that we have is called a send to messenger button. Now, the button and the checkbox, which you'll see next, are very similar. They require the user to subscribe. And this is a really cool feature because this allows us to do a lot. This is actually us signing them up for notifications. This is the best way to get outbound messaging for a long period of time, where you get a subscriber and you can create a page like you'll see here on the right-hand side. This is actually something that Chatmatic creates. It's a little, basically a squeeze page where you put your image, and then you have a headline that this one says "Want reminders?" ? And then underneath, click below and I'll send you a message before we go live each week to ensure that you don't miss out on our free Wealthery weekly calls. I have a free call that I do every single week for free live training. And this was the reminder that I set up for that so that everybody could be notified before we go live. And that's exactly what it does. Every single week before we go live, I notify everybody who's signed up to this page that we're going live. Now, this is a huge benefit to me, and we'll talk a little bit later about how you can use this in so many different ways. But this is not something where you're trying to build a list like you would for an email list. You actually don't get their email address when they opt in through this method. All you are getting is basically approval through Facebook to send them a message right away, and then as well as sending them subscription notices. And you'll also have the ability to send them marketing messages for 24 hours. So pretty interesting stuff, which we'll cover more about the rules later on, like I mentioned. So the checkbox, as I just talked about here, very similar to the button, but you can see the checkbox is, they have to check it. Now, a lot of people are getting pre-checked boxes, and this is an example what you're seeing here on our screen of a Chatmatic Shopify integration, where what we actually do is we integrate directly with a Shopify store. We add this button to their store, and if anybody adds that item to their cart, they will be automatically retargeted through Messenger. Pretty cool feature, and it allows us to send them a message for up to 24 hours, basically automatically, and we say, don't miss out on this product. You've only got X amount of time left. So pretty cool feature. And you guys will all, I'm mostly see in Chatmatic, all of these messages are customizable. But this little checkbox here, it allows you to continue along the same process that you are already on. So, this button, it doesn't do anything else aside from subscribe them to your bot. This checkbox allows them to continue to do what they were already going to do, add an item to their cart, but now they're also subscribed to an automatic bot widget of some kind, which in this case is just an automatic retargeting. However, you could put one of these on your landing page, and when somebody clicks it, it could submit your landing page and subscribe them. So there's some really cool features there. But these are going to be the most popular that you're going to see in the future. Checkboxes and buttons, you're going to see a lot of those because those are more, familiar marketing techniques. Another one is this messenger scan code. So you can see here, this is actually an example of a mock-up business card that we had done where the only thing on the business card is this scan code. And that's very deliberate because normally when you send somebody when you give somebody a business card, they just simply put it in their pocket and forget about it. But this is one of those instances where now if they scan it, they would actually get a message from you in Messenger. And so these scan codes are going to become much more popular here in the near future. You'll be able to see these in local business windows. So right now, local businesses, when they open up, they go and they get all these little stickers and they put them in their window, and it says, here's our hours, here's our website, here's our phone number, here's the name of the business and all this stuff. You might still get the name of the business, but in the future, companies are going to be using these scan codes and saying, hey, for our hours, just scan this code with Messenger. The reason you would do that is because it actually enables you to send them a message and walk them through a very rich process that could end up leading them to buying products from you and so on. I would highly suggest looking into these messenger entry points. This particular one is going to continue to become much more widely used. In the beginning, you might be telling people how to do it, how to scan it. But after 6 months to a year of a lot of people doing this, people are going to be very familiar with what these scan codes are. They'll know how to scan them, and it'll be a very interesting world when scan codes like this are being placed on receipts so that when you scan it, it opens it up in Messenger and you can pay through Messenger. Or for directions, if you're looking for directions for some place, you could scan this code and it automatically opens a Messenger bot that sends you directions to some place based on your current location. The possibilities of what you're going to be able to do with this particular scan code are just off the charts. It will absolutely be one of the biggest things that we see happening in 2018 is more of these scan codes being used because the scanner is already in everybody's phone. And so that's going to be a big asset. Another messenger entry point that we have here is the messenger ad. You can actually purchase advertising that when somebody clicks on the ad, it opens a messenger message and you can offer them, these options down here with buttons, things of that nature. So this is a huge unknown for most people right now. A lot of people just don't understand, why would I send them there instead of sending them to my website? But the truth of the matter is, in the future, websites will likely be a little bit less useful. And so you will want to send them to some sort of conversational app or something where they can engage with you rather than being bored and looking at your website and watching videos. This is something where they can walk through a process and be engaged the entire time. One of the cool features of this particular kind of ad is when you run an ad into Messenger, Facebook's going to ask you, do you want to target people who have an already open conversation with you, or do you want to target just a list of people you think might be interested? The major difference is if they have an open conversation with you, the ad will actually go directly into their Messenger, like the one on the screen on the right here. Versus on the left, you would be showing your ad in the news feed and they would have to click and then it would open that message. So getting a lot of people to engage in Messenger with you is a pretty big deal, as long as they don't close the message, which most people don't do that. So it's an exciting thing to see how that's going to continue to grow as well, something to continue to pay attention to, that Facebook is putting a lot of time and effort into these entry points. And the last one that I want to talk about is one of the most exciting, one of the ones that I think most people use the most, and that is comment triggers. When somebody comments on a post or an ad on Facebook, you can reply to them instantly into Messenger. And so basically, you can see here on the right-hand side, I've got a post, and anytime somebody commented, it said the page responded privately. So instantly, I set up one message so that every single person who comments gets that particular message. That allows me to, again, engage them in Messenger. Now, there is one big difference with this entry point, and that is it is a temporary and partial entry point. And what I mean by that is when somebody comments on your post, they're not technically a subscriber. They are only a one-time subscriber, meaning you're only allowed to send them one message, and it's a very particular style of message. You cannot send them rich media, which means you can't send them images, you can't send them cards, you can't send them video. And we'll describe what all of these different messenger types are. But just know right now, whenever somebody comments on your post, Facebook's kind of experimenting with this idea, and they're not really giving you the full capabilities that you would have if somebody subscribed in a more deliberate fashion. For instance, obviously there's a big difference between subscribing on a page like this and commenting on a post. They know that, and they want to try to figure out what the best way to play the two sides of the fence are. So these are your main entry points. There is another one called a customer chat widget, which just recently came out, which is a widget you're allowed to place on your website. And if somebody clicks on it, it will open a bot. These are going to be highly, highly used in the new year, 2018. We'll be covering these later on, and there'll be something that continues to evolve. They just rolled out the beta for that one, so it's not a public release just yet, but you can start using those, and we'll talk about those as well. But these are your major entry points. So just remember, anytime somebody messages your fan page, that's one way they can engage. Anytime somebody goes to a messenger URL, that's another. You have the send a messenger button, which can be made into a landing page or just a standalone button. You have the checkbox, which again can be integrated into a sales path or could be added with its own button and getting subscribers that way. You have this scan code, you have these messenger ads, and then lastly, you have these comment triggers. So lots of really cool ways to get people into Messenger. It's a great, great system for consistently engaging with your subscribers. Much better than what you might find on, say, for instance, email marketing. The open rates on email marketing are somewhere around 20%, whereas the email, and that's a really good open rate, the open rates on Messenger are anywhere between 80 to 99%. So lots to do with Messenger, and I'm sure you guys will absolutely enjoy seeing the rest of this stuff come together, and I look forward to teaching you guys more. The next module is going to start to get even more advanced and show you guys what you can do with Messenger. So let's get to it.